I don't know that you and I have talked about it in these words before, but I feel like one of the biggest benefits of the career that, I don't know, we had chosen for us, ended up in, however we want to phrase it, is that we were required to talk to people who wanted nothing to do with talking to us.
It's a framework. You will pick and say, maybe I'll do this now. This person here seems to have gone through a traumatic experience. I will reach into the basket and maybe use a little bit of this. You build it to the person you're dealing with. It's just communication.
One of the most powerful questions you ask. Tell me more about that. So you're not giving them a starting point. You're letting them choose where they're going to begin.
At one point at the table, like, we're just trying to interview one person. We'd have like 6 guys sitting there and all like, franchise players.
Are we over this concept of my biggest weakness is somehow a strength? One of these flippers?
No, not totally. I mean,
Okay.
I always say it has to be true. Your weakness has to be real, right? Don't tell me you're a perfectionist. Do you know how many perfectionists I've been?
Right. Guantanamo and the USS Cole bombing and investigations of people who obviously from the outside looking in might be pretty difficult to talk to. You're saying that rapport is just as important in those cases.
Rapport is essential in those cases.
Most of the cases that I've done are only felony crimes of violent crimes, sexual assault. So if you can imagine, there's a lot of emotion going on in those interviews. So I have to be very empathetic about what I'm asking, how I'm asking.
Young people are not stupid, and they can tell a lot of times when empathy is forced or relatability is insincere.
So almost guaranteed, the first words that are going to come out of my mouth are going to make me feel better. And if they make me feel better, there's a reasonable likelihood it's going to make my audience feel worse to some degree.
Because they got to live it through me, through a documentary. But I think that most, detectives and most, people working in the banks, whatever, it's just another day, another case, another story.
We're not looking for someone to be, have never failed or never had an issue or always, arrives at the perfect solution. We're humans. What we want to hear is, what did you learn from your failure?
Down 28-3, and boom, we throw a pick right out of the box, and Bubba McDowell takes it, and now it's 35-3. I'm going to tell you, a team without resilience and character and never giving up mentality, it's going to be a blowout.
Please don't confuse optimism with positivity, because it would be a load of crap if I said, hey, everything is going to be okay. Because sometimes, you know what? It's not. But the difference between positivity and optimism is that you as an individual has control over the future.
I want to train my guys that way when I'm coaching. It's a long season. It's a grind. We love the grind. Love it.
I talk about the fact that, I was trained and I believed an innocent person wouldn't confess to a crime they didn't commit. I believe that. I was wrong.
He has information from other eyewitnesses who said something different. So now he's trying to get this eyewitness to kind of agree with what everyone else was saying. But here's the thing, you got to let it go.
I could put a blindfold on, walk across the busiest highway in Canada and not get hit, but it's just a fluke. Okay, it just might happen that once. But if I do it 30 times, I might get flattened by a semi.
Do you think more effective communication could have saved your shoes that night from being the product of a vomit?
I think probably a little more observation on my part would have been better.